Yes, look at that. You tied Elvis and Britney
And do you know why she did that year?
because they were in Vegas.
Exactly.
Yes, but it's not the first time she channeled Elvis.
The first time would have been in the Vegas show with the jumpsuit.
Yes, the jumpsuit. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Also channeled by Geri Halliwell, and when they did the Billboard Awards. Everybody just does the damn jumpsuit when they're in Vegas.
I don't even know if we're recording. Are we recording?
We are live.
Okay. I say this with all the respect in the world.
Oh, Lord. That usually means it's not going to end well.
With all the respect in the world, because I know I'm in the minority.
Okay.
Okay. I know I'm in the minority.
Okay.
I've never liked Elvis Presley.
Really?
I don't. And what I
at all, or
what I sort of grapple with is why there's people who like jumpsuit Elvis, because I get the appeal of young Elvis,
like pre-military Elvis.
Yeah, or like even comeback special Elvis.
Well, comeback special Elvis is jumpsuit Elvis. I mean, he's wearing a leather jumpsuit.
No, it was a leather jacket and leather pants. But even before that, I get the appeal of early Elvis. It's later Elvis, ridiculo Elvis, that I kind of like. Okay, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of things that people think that I like that people are like, what? So, with that in mind, welcome to episode 339.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, I am on a roll of pero. Let me tell you,
on a cinnamon
how
roll.
have I done this?
I think it's Junior.
Is it Junior?
I think Junior streamlines you.
Junior is good for my mental arithmetic.
Yeah, he's like human Ginkgo Biloba.
What? Oh, Ginkgo Biloba, the tea.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I have a funny story about that. I had a friend in law school that, like most law school students, your first term, at the end of your first term, it's very overwhelming. You've never done that before. And in most law schools, if you fail your tests or you get a C or low, well, if you get a D or lower or an F, you get kicked out of law school. So there's a lot of pressure. And, law school is one of these places that you only have one exam. There's not a pop quiz. There's not an assignment.
So
there's not a research paper.
Semester. And
you have a final, and that's it. And it's sink or swim. And I remember, when you study for that, it's like hours and hours of studying. I would study like 14 hours a day for like 3-4 weeks nonstop in preparation for finals. I wouldn't even know what day it was anymore. And I remember, you just go delirious studying, right? That I had a friend. This person that she started taking Ginkgo Biloba or whatever it was. And I remember her a few days before the final. I remember it was our contracts final, which was our first final. And contracts is a big one. Like contracts is a really big.
It seems very like you can't bullshit it.
No, but it's contracts is in your first term. Everybody takes contracts 1 in their first term of law school. It's one of the harder classes because it's like really, it's concepts you're not you're not familiar with. It's one of the
very technical
hard ones. I remember she was like, "Oh my God, I'm taking all this Ginkgo Biloba and it's not kicking in because I don't remember anything."
Oh no.
I was like, oh
no, not a Ginkgo shortage.
Yeah, but I love her. I love her. Oh. But it's rough. It's rough.
Yeah. I mean, if only you guys had gone to law school in the time of YouTube. Everybody's a legal authority now.
Yeah, I mean, do you know how many
could have studied
thousands I would have?
Hours alone. You would have been so caught up on sleep.
Hello.
You would have a storage of sleep.
I wouldn't have spent $200,000.
Well, that too. Yeah.
Get the sleep.
That's true. See, I just think of the sleep.
$200,000.
Because even I went the long way around it.
Yeah.
I invested in watching Law and Order.
Right.
You know, at least I pretended.
I mean, listen, you're talking about somebody who took. I took criminal procedure and criminal law in law school. I never practiced criminal law, so I can't talk from the practice perspective, but I did study it. And I've told you several times, sometimes your terminology, I'm like, damn. I'm like, coño, you're using like mens rea.
Yes, it's L&OU.
Yeah, like Law and Order University.
Yep.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yep.
So anyway, so how's everybody today on this Friday, on this Pedo Friday or Pedo weekend or Pedo Monday? Some of you see us on Monday.
Yes, this Pedo day.
On this Pedo day.
This Pedo day. I will say.
I think by Bit of Wednesday, people are like, you either saw us or listened to us or you
You're
didn't.
like, I'll catch up. I'll just double up on Friday. Fuck it. It'll just be a twofer.
You know what I always get a kick of when we meet people that are listeners, or maybe they discovered us and they're like, oh, we're going back and listening to your old episodes. I'm like, why?
I mean,
don't do that.
Maybe 2 years.
2 years.
Maybe
I'm
2
like,
years.
Maybe
Go back
2 weeks.
No. Go back 2 years. Don't go back don't
2
go.
years. No. If somebody were to come and tell me, hey, I just discovered your podcast.
Oh no,
like,
I was talking about it because like the first 20 episodes are just rough.
no, but not even that.
That's what I'm talking
because
about.
our shows are topical. It's like, do you really want to know what you were doing on the Friday of May of 2019?
Maybe they do.
I guess maybe they do.
Maybe it will become like, you know how people go out and look for the newspaper from the day they were born?
Yeah, I have that.
Right. Maybe people will be like, "Oh, what was happening on my birthday?" And
Pero let me tell you.
Yeah.
I mean, the possibilities are endless.
Don't know.
I've told you, I play Pero let me tell you roulette sometimes. That we have 339 episodes. I'm like, what were we doing 200 episodes ago? Oh, that's what we were doing.
Oh, well, that was about the pandemic. So
Yeah,
that's what we
yeah.
were doing. So wait, now that you said, Pero let me tell you roulette and listening to things and just randomly. Now, last week we did have a cameo from your parents.
Yes.
Have they been made aware that they were on the show?
So they were, and they cracked up only
Okay.
because my kid showed them, and he was laughing so much that they were laughing at that he was laughing.
Okay, they were
So
joining him.
I want to do another cameo with them, but it can't be too often because they'll catch on.
Oh, they will totally catch on.
They'll catch on. It's wonderful how my mom was like, oh, garden.
Yes,
But,
that restaurant started by Goldie Hawn's son. Yes.
What?
Oliver Hudson started the Oliver Garden. Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to a friend actually earlier today about the Olive Garden, and we've talked about it here before. We've talked about many restaurants.
Yeah.
I will die on that hill that their Alfredo sauce is the best Alfredo sauce, and I don't care. And I don't care. And I say this all the time. I mean, I've said it here on the show. I get so annoyed when I tell somebody that I like the Olive Garden or whatever, and they're like, it's not real Italian food. And I'm like,
What are you going to tell me next? Taco Bell's not authentic?
I am insulted that you think
Right.
that I think that it's real Italian food, right? Like, really? I mean, you think that I think that this is real Italian
Right.
food? It's like, shut up. Just eat your Alfredo, fettuccine Alfredo, and enjoy your breadsticks.
Yeah, sometimes you just want to go to a restaurant
And
that
your
has
pasta fagioli soup.
a menu that looks like the Yellow Pages. It's fine.
Just a menu that looks like the Yellow Pages.
Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, no. That's my favorite.
I know, but I'm saying sometimes you just
What's your
want
favorite dish in the
that.
Cheesecake Factory?
There's so many dishes to begin with.
I have like 4.
I have to whittle it down. You know what I do love at the Cheesecake Factory? I love their chicken pot pie.
Okay, that's not one of my 4 or
Because
5.
that's
But
such a thing that I love to eat, but will never make at home, ever.
the chicken pot pie?
So
Because you eat it all?
Yeah. Of course I eat the whole thing.
Oh, well, I mean, we're talking about Cheesecake Factory, portions.
Right. But Cheesecake Factory portion meets my
Okay, that's true.
my eating. Yeah. Yeah. I usually have the whole thing.
So one of my favorite things in the Cheesecake Factory, the crusted chicken Romano is a classic.
That's good.
I love the chicken piccata. I love the steak Diane. I love the it's an appetizer, the sweet corn tamale.
Oh, those are good.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
And then of course there's the avocado egg rolls with the tamarindo sauce, right?
So good.
I love, that when I read tamarind sauce, I'm like
Oh, no, it's
tamarindo,
tamarindo. You put-
tamarindo,
yeah,
right?
it's-
And then
I'll bring my
it's-
own vowel. Thank you.
It's like the 5,000 cheesecakes that I always, it always happens to me. Always, I'm like, today I'm going to pick a new cheesecake, but then I always end up picking the same one, the white chocolate raspberry truffle.
I mean, not a bad choice.
Not a bad choice, but I'm like, today is the day I'm gonna pick
You know
that
what?
coconut one or that.
You specifically can't think about it.
No,
You have to walk in there and just actually, we have to do a cheesecake roulette. Just
Yeah.
literally
Close my-
blindfold you and spin you around and just wherever you.
no, because I'll probably end up with one with peanut butter, and then I'll be like, ugh.
Okay, but we'll make exceptions to things you don't like.
Junior, what's your favorite dish from the Cheesecake Factory?
I'm not that well versed there
Oh, Junior.
because I get very overwhelmed.
Okay, I mean,
Well,
So going back to the yellow pages,
Yeah,
I
it is-
get very overwhelmed. But if
Well-
you ask me in the Olive Garden, I'd have to say the Tour d'Italie. But
Well-
if you ask me in the Olive Garden, I'd have to say the Tour d'Italie.
oh,
Okay.
a classic.
I love it.
That's
I
a classic.
Love a good tour of Italy.
Yeah. Do you have
And that
it?
one's so much cheaper than if you flew there.
Does the tour of Italy? Do you like it with spaghetti or with fettuccine?
Depends on the day.
Because it
Yep.
comes. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Depends on the day.
Sometimes it might be too heavy.
Right.
for
Right. And
the
sometimes I might be.
fettuccine, and sometimes you're like, bring it on.
And sometimes I may be like in the mood for meatballs, so then I'll do the spaghetti and have
Exactly.
meatball. Yeah.
And sometimes you feel like a nut.
And sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss the macaroni grill. I just want to say that in Miami, at least.
They still exist.
They still exist. Yeah, in Orlando.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
They have everything in Orlando.
we can just take the bright line.
Yeah, but they have everything in Orlando. You want a Bennigan's? There you
They have
go.
a Ponderosa,
A stick and ale,
a Shoney's.
a sizzler.
They probably have things from like 1942. They probably have like a one of those not the laundromat, the automat. They probably have an
The
automat.
automat.
They probably have an
I didn't
automat.
know what an automat was until I said Bogle.
I only know about the automat because
Because it sounds like a laundry.
right, but I know the automat because it's mentioned in a song in Gentlemen Prefer Blondes.
Oh, I don't know.
That's the only, and I was like, what the hell's an automat? So I had to look at it. Look it up.
Yeah, it's una comida. An automat, listeners, for those of you who don't know, it's like this old school thing that was like really big in the 40s and 50s.
It's like a self-serve cafeteria.
Where, well, yes and no, because you would go to like a room that had a bunch of little windows, a lot of little drawers. Yeah, there was like a tuna sandwich, an
Yeah.
egg sandwich.
I feel like a cherry pie.
a cherry pie with saran wrap over it.
Yes, everything Saran wrap. That was
Yeah.
the heyday of Saran wrap.
Yeah.
Mira que Saran wrap no sirve para nada.
It depends if you get a good one. The problem with saran wrap is
Give me
that
aluminum.
No. The problem with saran wrap is that most of the time, our parents or whatever would buy the cheap one from the dollar store. But if you get the brand name saran wrap, I mean, it's good.
No, give me aluminum foil.
El aluminio.
Ay, aluminio. Ese that plastic film que se pega, and then you have to pull it apart, and you're like, no.
So, listeners, what's
I'm
your
not having
favorite dish from the Cheesecake Factory? It could be endless. Who knows?
It could be. It could be. You could. I wonder how long it would take you if you ordered a different menu item from the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay, so there's this girl from
Like how how many days you?
it was Bon Appetit or Edible. She has a YouTube. Well, the magazine has a YouTube channel, and she did a series of videos where she went to like I think every chain restaurant in Miami, and she ordered everything on the menu. She didn't eat everything, but she tried everything on the menu.
But what a waste of food.
Well, I mean, she would take it home, and I'm sure the people in the production would take it as well.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
it's true. It was a magazine. Yeah,
they didn't throw away that
Okay.
food.
That was my first
Right.
thought.
But she would try everything. She would have a bite of everything. And like I remember she some of them, like it's like chain restaurants, like all these chain restaurants we know, but I'd be like watching and I'd be like, wow, they have those things in Bahama Breeze? Yo. Look at that rice, that fried rice inside a pineapple. Like, wow.
you just wouldn't think to order it.
So whatever. I love chain restaurants, and you could like both of them, right?
Listen, two things can be true at once.
You could like your independent mom and pop place. You could like your fancy restaurant, and like your good chain restaurant.
Okay, so three things can be true
I mean,
at once.
look, I think Carrabba's is really good, and I will die on that hill.
Yeah.
Carrabba's is good. Carrabba's is fancy.
You know what I got sad about
What?
when we went to Maggiano's that last time?
Oh yeah, for my birthday they didn't have the family stuff. Maybe they do it because we went right after COVID.
That's true.
So maybe now that we're more back to normal,
Maybe it's
because
back.
we would go to Maggiano's. For those of you who don't know, Maggiano's is an Italian restaurant here in Florida. The closest one is in Boca. So we would literally drive over an hour to go to Maggiano's, and it was family style. So it was like the appetizer round, the salad round, the entree round, and the dessert
Y
round.
eso era dale.
And like the waiters were in on it. It's like, oh, you would be full. And they're like, oh, it's family style. We're bringing you more lasagna.
Right.
So everybody would leave there with like bags of food.
Yeah.
And then Italian food the next day, it's like
so
epic.
much better.
So much better.
So much better.
What is? Well, I know what it is.
Because everything settles? I don't
Yeah, everything settles, and like especially things with sauces, they they thicken
Like
when
marinated in
they
it.
they marinate and they thicken during the evening overnight. So yeah, Italian food is so good the next day.
It's just so
hot
nice.
or cold.
Oh, yeah. Give me a cold lasagna.
Anyway, speaking of hot or cold,
Okay. Actually, I think I know where you're going with this. And it's funny because if it is where you're going, I was actually going to pivot off of when you said Bon Appetit.
I don't know. You're hot and you're
Right.
cold. You're yes and you're
So
no.
we're going down the path of the Blue Origin.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Is that where we're going?
yes.
Because you had said Bon Appetit. Like, okay, I'll pivot off of that.
Well, that's one of her less known hits.
Well, okay, yes, but it's you and I.
So this week, as we probably saw everywhere on social media, there was this thing called the Blue Origin that looked like a phallic rocket that went in space with 7 women. Katy Perry, Gayle King,
Lauren Santos.
I'm gonna name all of them.
Okay.
So we don't leave anybody
because
out.
obviously, I mean, we're pop culture kids, so the pop culture ones are the ones that stick in our
this
head.
This week in this Blue Origin, which was a rocket that went to what is considered actually space, we had Katy Perry, Lauren Sanchez, Gayle King, Aisha Bowe, Amanda Nugent, and Carrie Ann Flynn.
Yeah.
So these were 7 women that they were on this rocket that is from the rocket
it's Bezos
financed
financed,
or done by Jeff Bezos. That's why his fiance was there, and they went up in space and
to be clear, like when they say go up in space, there's levels of space. So basically, they just left like the atmosphere.
well, I don't think anybody
came
thinks
back up.
that they went to
but I think
Space Nine.
No, but there might be some people who are like, oh, but how did they go to space and come back so quick?
So
I
they
mean,
went to space and they made a whole big thing about it, how they were going to space and all this stuff. And the flight was 10 minutes and they were in space for 5 minutes. Now, I understand that that's, it's sort of
cool.
incredible. It's cool.
it's cool.
But the way that they presented this was like these women were heroes and they were
on a mission.
They were on a mission and they were these heroic, courageous women that were doing this. That's why they picked
all-female
7
crew.
women. And they made it seem like there was a mission to be done.
Right.
And when I started reading about this, I'm like, wait, hold on. I am not the Debbie Downer person, but this is more publicity stunt than anything, because I think that if you really want to make a presence and make an acknowledgement as to women in space travel, then you should have put women up there that were astronauts, scientists,
I think the
contributed
other 4 were,
contributed something to space travel, not 7 celebrity women. And that is the part that I was kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this, because this to me is a publicity stunt. So I don't know. I thought that it's great, it's cool, but to me that was sort of like, oh, rich people doing rich people things. Like they can go now to the border of the atmosphere and say they're in space while I still have to pay my bills and pick up my kid in school and worry about esto and worry about the
Bills
other things.
and
So
taxes
I don't
and all
know.
of
What do
that.
you guys think? I'm not a Debbie Downer for it. Like, again, if you want to do it and you want to market the hell out of it and put it everywhere, fine. I didn't have a problem with them going in space and doing it. I want to make that very clear. My whole thing was that they were making this to be like, oh, it's an empowering moment for women and their courage. I'm like, get courage. Get courage. They didn't take any training to do that. Like the training astronauts
Lance Bass did more training.
have to do to go in space and go on one of these space missions. Like, I mean, with courage, I mean, yeah, they're on a rocket. I mean, you can be, I guess, they're not afraid to fly, but there's millions of people that fly every day and are 30 to 35,000 feet above the, the earth.
Right.
So I don't know. I just thought that, and especially now with like the financial situation for so many people and the financial reality, it's kind of like, and I know you can't gauge everything by that. You can't be like, well, because so many people are struggling financially.
Because then you never do anything.
Nobody can have nice things. Right. That's not the way to gauge it, but it's a little like the timing and it's a little tone deaf. And again, the whole marketing of like, these women are so courageous.
Well, this is also the big thing here, I think, is that this is it's a pay for play situation because this is not NASA. This is not, you know what I mean? This is space tourism. And so, some people, what they took issue was with, here now what you've got is this thing where it's like, to your point, like, I can just afford to go to space for 10 minutes. And that wasn't what people were intending when they created the space, the space program. It wasn't supposed to be like just another form of extravagant tourism.
Well, it probably will become. I mean, I'm sure Carnival will end up having a rocket.
I would
not.
Royal
Caribbean.
I would not go on a Carnival cruise rocket.
Why?
No.
I mean, they're good with ships.
Yeah, but in the ocean.
I mean,
I feel like there's different parameters when it's upright.
you don't think the rocket will have a Lido deck?
Okay, now I'm interested again. How would that work? Like, you just
I know what the song
like you have to
would
strap
sound.
yourself into the
I would
chairs.
totally play Here We Go, the song with you right here, let's fly. You don't remember that song?
Yeah.
Rocketeer. Oh, wow, that was a bad note. I'm sorry to our listeners. That song by ¿cómo se llama? One Republic, One Direction. No, One Republic. One Republic.
One Republic. Yes.
Let's fly up. Here we go.
Yes,
with the people that sang.
See, I was thinking Rocket
with
Man.
the people that sang like a G6, like a G6, because I'm flying so high like a G6.
The Far East movement.
The Far East
There we
movement.
go.
The Far East movement should do a tour with LMFAO.
Okay. I don't have any objection to any of that.
I mean, wouldn't that be? I mean,
I don't know why I would object to that. I just sure
they should do. Sure,
Why not?
sure. Like they were around the same time. Did you know that, Junior, off the top of my head, or did you look that up?
I knew it.
Okay.
And if I'm being honest, they might have already done a tour together.
Wait,
Them too?
what?
LMFAO and Far East movement.
Of course.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because at that time there was a lot of that like overlap where like if
those two
if
overlapped.
anyone was making music that even sounded remotely the same,
And were you
they're going
able
on tour.
And were you able to pull that up so quickly because you went to see them when they toured together?
Well, seeing them in Las Vegas at a pool party, I don't know, perhaps.
that
but
counts. That counts.
Yeah.
You know
It
what?
was LMFAO, Far East Movement, and Big Sean.
Oh, that's a time capsule.
One of those things is
Doesn't
not like
belong.
the
Yeah,
other,
yeah.
but two of them are.
Yeah.
That's why I said that. I'm like, they seem like they would have, because there were people that they had their moment at the
Right.
same time. They really never had a comeback,
Right.
or whatever. So
yeah, it works.
There was a lot of overlap. That's why I was like, of course they would have done it with LMFAO.
LMFAO.
I mean,
Look at you proposing things that actually existed.
that existed.
Past tense.
I predicted the past.
You predict. You know, it's harder than you think.
That's a good name for an album. Predict the past.
Predicting the past.
Predicting the past.
Ooh.
That's actually a Far East Movement album.
You're kidding.
I'm kidding.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
That's like, I've always thought a cool concept
That'd be
for
great.
a movie. I mean, I'm saying it out here. They're going to steal my concept. Is The Memory of a Mirror.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I've
I've always thought that was cool. Because I'll never forget, like, you know, the first few times I went to Europe and I would go to all these places, like the Palace of Versailles has, you know, the Hall of Mirrors. I'm like, ¿cuántas cosas han visto estos espejos? For some reason, when you say it in Spanish,
It sounds better.
¿cuántas cosas han visto estos espejos?
Yeah, it's not the same as like how many things has the mirror seen?
Yeah. Like, you know, they signed peace treaties there. And then you've also probably had people that farted in front of the mirror. And, you know,
And probably like beheadings.
and there's that.
Yeah. It's such a wide array of things.
You know,
that
people that
happen.
were dragged out of the Palace of Versailles.
Yeah. Tourists, you know.
Yeah, and then tourists.
Yeah.
Have you been to the Palace of Versailles?
I have not because I've never been to France.
It's quite large.
Yeah. Do they have croquetas?
They have a ventanita.
ventanita.
They have many ventanitas in the Palace of Versailles. Yeah, I always say I've been there 3 times, and all 3 times it's been raining. And then I see people with like all these pictures, like, look at me in the beautiful gardens. I'm like, shut up. Like, shut up. So, yeah, whatever. Katy Perry went to space. No, you know what's so funny?
The best part was when they came back and kissed the earth.
Gayle King, because Gayle King is one of these people that, like, nothing against her journalistic integrity.
That's why I don't have a problem with her even being on there as a
Gayle
journalist.
King is not cool. I don't mean that as an insult.
No, she's not cool.
She's
no,
not
no,
cool,
no.
right?
Yeah.
And you know, my favorite Gayle King moment is
No.
Robert. You don't know where that's
Oh, with
from?
R. Kelly.
With R.
With R. Kelly,
Robert.
yes.
He's like, they're killing me, man. They're killing me. She's like, Robert,
Like Gayle King has to bring him off the ledge.
calm down, Robert. That's great.
She probably learned that at a seminar with Oprah.
But yeah, Gayle King's not cool. And it's nothing against Gayle King.
No, some people are just not cool.
You know,
Yeah.
And she's like, she's like, well, because we were telling Katy Perry to sing Roar. And I'm like, like, And then Perry apparently sang "What a Wonderful World,"
yeah.
which okay, I get it,
Right,
I get it. But really, like Roar, that's the song that you wanted Katy to. I mean, first of all, if you're only 5 minutes in space, I wouldn't be like, "Hey, Katy Perry, sing a song." I'd be looking out the window, being like,
Well, but you could get a soundtrack. It'd be great if she would have just sang like Last Friday Night.
you know, it's funny. I'm gonna take it to the 90s. You know, have you seen the footage of all of them doing all types of stuff inside that spaceship?
No, I haven't seen that part.
You haven't
like
seen it?
somersaults and all that.
Inside that spaceship, I'm like, this is just a 2025 version of the video of Spice Up Your Life. They're in a spaceship on the winter, going God knows where.
I think even they went somewhere further.
The
Spice Girls. Because I'm pretty sure they went the circumference of the globe.
Well, yeah. So it's like, yeah, you're in space and you want Katy Perry to sing? I'd be like, oh shit, I'm in space. I'm in space, bitch.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about it in that perspective. I thought of it in terms of like, ay, que lindo, somebody singing live while you're in space.
You're only there 5 minutes. Like if you were there maybe an hour, I'd be like, okay, Katy, can you give us a tune here? To be like, I heard Katy Perry, on the brink of the atmosphere. Like,
Right.
Katy Perry unplugged in space, But no, it's like 5 minutes before you. I mean, she can't get through one song.
That's true. That's true. She just did the chorus.
The chorus.
That's
her Super Bowl performance was 3 times longer than the time that they were in.
She couldn't even get one shark, much less a left shark up there.
Whatever.
But you know what this does mean, though? Now that she announced her set list on a spacecraft, I'm pretty sure that Taylor Swift has to announce her tour from a black hole.
Wait, she announced her set list
Yeah, you haven't seen that?
from her concert tour?
Yeah. You haven't seen that? That she has like a little butterfly.
Are you serious?
She has like a little butterfly thing that has.
That's what it was?
And that was her set list.
Is this like a freaking gender reveal party? That's going to be a new thing. Do it.
You're going to fly to space.
Space exploration.
Space tourism.
It becomes a thing. People are using that shit for their gender reveal party. That
cannot be good for the fetus, by the way.
Can we talk about that for a moment?
About fetuses or
about gender reveal parties?
I hate them.
I remember the first time.
Hot take.
The first time, this was a friend of mine, a very close friend of mine, that him and his wife were having their child. I forgot if it was the first or second child. That they did a gender reveal cake. Like they went to the baker and the baker had certain icing inside.
At least I get to eat.
And when you cut it, you open it. And I remember thinking like, okay, you want to make a moment about it. Okay, fine. But now we have planes. We have, billboards. We have fireworks and explosions and all this stuff. And there have people that have died in gender reveal parties or gender reveal reveals.
Yeah.
So I just don't understand. Like, whether it's a boy or a girl, your reaction's going to be the same. It's a girl. Great. It's a boy. Oh, I told you it was going to be a boy. It's always going to be the same.
Right.
Do people ever stop and think about that? The reaction is always going to be the same, no matter if it's a boy or a girl.
No, because then they have to like think about all their other life
Right.
choices.
And, and it's like, why? And I don't mean this to be insulting to anybody who's had a gender reveal party. I'm sure there's a lot of very good people. I have many good people that have had gender reveal parties, and I'm talking about these. I'm specifically referencing these over the top gender reveal parties.
Yeah, if you invite me to your house for a piece of cake,
I don't want to be that person that, again, Debbie Downer, that it's like criticizes everything. And again, if you want to have like a get together with your closest family and be like, oh, it's a boy or a girl, great. But these over the top gender reveal parties that you invite like 100 people or whatever to, I don't say this to be mean, but why do you think so many people would care if you're having or a boy or a girl?
Yeah.
Because aside from the parents and the siblings and maybe the grandparents, nobody really cares that much if you're having a boy or a girl. It's like, great, you're having a girl.
Yeah,
you're having another boy? That's awesome.
I'm going to go on record as saying that when you told me you guys were having a boy, I didn't care.
Like, you don't
because
care.
If you told me if it was a girl, I'd be happy to. What's the big deal?
You don't care. Like, and again, I'm not doing that to be disrespectful or mean. It's like nobody cares that much. Again, you want to have something small, great. But these over the top gender reveal parties, like, I just don't get them. I mean, did you see the video last year of the airplane that flew over the party and then like
the powder or whatever.
The powder came out and the airplane crashed?
Yeah.
The person died. And then nobody looked at the plane falling because they were looking at the people jumping up and down because it was a boy or a girl, whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Usually one or two. Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah, but you know what? But it's a bigger thing.
Although, oh man, this is gonna be controversial. Although it is sort of funny to see people online that, you know, these people that are like very to one side that don't believe that you are born with a gender.
Oh, okay, right.
Being that gender reveal parties are about the patriarchy and about affirming a gender for your child.
It's really not.
And I was like, if we're gonna talk about that, then you know what? Do a gender reveal party. Like,
right. See, now you're making us have a gender reveal party.
now I want
all the gender reveal parties
because it's like, okay, come on.
Like, it's just an excuse for a party. But what I was gonna say is it's just indicative of like this bigger thing that's happened now where like, do you remember when we were in high school so many years ago and, you know, we went to prom and you just asked somebody to prom? And now there's promposals.
There's promposals?
Promposals.
Promposals.
Like proposals, but
prom.
Right, promposals. You haven't heard about this?
No.
Oh, so basically
So
it's
just to say, hey, you want to go with me to the prom?
no longer a thing. I mean, I'm sure some people do it, but now it's a whole like, you know, you have to like, you know, get like a card, or some people will have like a whole big skit, and it's become this thing that I have to like put on a show to just do something so damn simple as be like, yo, want to go to the dance?
For the gram, bro. It's for the gram.
So over it. So over it.
A promposal.
Promposal. And I think they do it for like homecoming too, but yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just like
A homecoming posal.
a homeposal.
A homeposal?
No, that sounds like something you recover from.
Un homposal.
Yeah, it's like, did you hear about Jonathan? He had a homeposal.
Oh, for a minute I was like, ooh, Taylor Thomas? I thought you were telling me for real.
Your face changed. You really did look concerned for a moment there.
What happened to JTT?
No one knows. No one knows where Jonathan Taylor Thomas is today.
Really, no one knows?
Have you heard? I mean, I can't say I heard anything about Jonathan Taylor Thomas recently. He's probably a realtor.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
Yeah.
You think he's a realtor?
Probably.
No, he looks like somebody who would be like a life coach.
A life coach?
Yeah, absolutely. How I survived, you know.
Childhood stardom.
Of course. He was in a Disney movie.
He was in 2 Disney movies.
He was a voice of something.
He was young Simba.
That was Jonathan Taylor Thomas?
Yeah.
So he sang I Can't Wait to Be King?
No, he wasn't the singing voice.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
The same way that Matthew Broderick was not the singing voice of adult Simba.
Wait, Matthew Broderick was the voice of Simba?
Yeah.
I know none of this. Ferris Bueller was Simba?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm going to make up.
Wait, who else was in the original Lion King?
James Earl Jones was Mufasa.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Bean was Sazu.
Was that the hyena-looking thing?
No, Sazu was the little bird.
Okay.
The little bird. Rafiki was Benson.
What was the bird, the bad bird? Wasn't his name like a Popko or Paco or something? The bad bird in... Wait, where was there a bad bird?
No, the bad bird is Iago from Aladdin.
Ah, see.
Which was Gilbert Gottfried.
Right.
Yeah.
What? Is Iago?
Iago.
Oh, I thought his name was Paco or something like that.
Paco? It's Middle Eastern.
So what?
Paco?
I thought you were asking him, is he algo? ¿Qué? ¿Es Iago? No sé lo que es, pero es Iago.
No,
Iago. No, Iago is the name of the damn bird.
Oh my God, we're
It's
having another escape to which mountain?
Escape to it. And we still don't know which mountain it was.
It was Iago and
Iago. Yeah, it's like, I think that's a Shakespearean name. Like it's in a Shakespeare play.
Mira vaya.
Yeah. See, like, I know things. Not much, but I know things.
Great trivia thing. Hey, listen. One time I was in trivia with a bunch of people who didn't knew a lot but didn't know things. And the final answer, the final question, and we were tied with another group. The final question, it was a bunch of like science people,
quote unquote smart people.
The final question was like, what was the first actress to win $1 million in a movie role? And I was like, I know the answer and I know the movie.
Is it Julia Roberts?
No. Do you know? What was the
Liz Taylor.
The first actress to make $1 million in a movie? What was the actress and what was the movie? Do you know, Junior?
Jennifer Lopez, Anaconda.
That would be great.
I have no idea.
Now I want that to be the answer.
It was Elizabeth Taylor and Cleopatra. Yeah.
And do you know why she was paid that much money?
Because she was sick.
Nope.
Why?
She was paid that money because she didn't want to do the movie. And so she's like, all right, tell them I'll do it for $1 million. And they were like, okay.
Really?
Yeah. So then she did the movie.
So you know what the thing about Cleopatra is that Cleopatra made a lot of money, but it wasn't a financial success because of how much money it cost to make.
Right.
Have you ever seen that movie?
I have. I've seen it twice.
So you know how I tell you that I love long movies? Mm-hmm. You know there's like an 8-hour version of that movie?
But I don't even think Cleopatra lived that long.
So it will take you just as long to get to Egypt.
It'll take you longer to watch Cleopatra than Katy Perry was in space.
No, Katy Perry was in space enough time that the people are telling you how to put your seatbelts on the show,
right.
On the thing. That little Delta video comes on with like that lady. No, right? You know what I'm talking about?
I do know
right?
what you're talking about.
How did that become so famous?
Well, because she's sassy.
Just like, no.
We love a sassy viral moment.
But that wasn't even viral. Like,
you know. Things were viral before they were viral.
But I guess, millions of people are seeing that every day when they board their Delta Airlines.
You know, the odds are in the favor numerically.
Yeah, that's like, I like the one that American Airlines did, but I never fly American. The one American Airlines did a few years ago that there's like a lot of moving parts and mirrors and reflections and,
Oh, I think that one was that the one that Todrick Hall choreographed?
I don't know.
I think it was.
I know there was a lot of things moving.
Yeah.
And it's like, just tell me to put my seatbelt.
They got to keep you entertained.
I guess.
Listen, everything now is entertainment.
Although when I'm on a plane,
I fall asleep before they even talk.
But when I'm on a plane and they start doing all that boarding stuff, I'm like, why is the air off? Aquí hay tremendo calor. And I'm like, doing that thing and my elbows like in the other person's face. And I'm like, I'm that person. And I'm like, open the air conditioner thing.
I know. I can't remember the last time I actually saw the
Okay, you know what? Now that we're talking about that, there's something I want to ask.
Okay.
I think we may have asked it here on the show.
Okay.
So, but ever since we've been on video, it's been a whole new show.
It's a whole new show.
So we may have talked about this in 339 episodes. So,
and we had Junior now.
I'm 6'1". I'm wide. I'm always been a larger, guy. I have always, since I was a little kid traveling, I have never reclined my seat. Never. I don't recline my seat. I am always extremely courteous to the person behind me. The only time I will recline my seat is if obviously it's empty, or if maybe it's like a really small child behind me.
Right.
I'll recline my seat, and usually I'll make some type of eye contact with the parents. But beside that, I never recline my seat because I think I don't like doing it. And I hate when you reach cruising altitude and the person in front of you just puts the seat all the way back. I don't think it's courteous. I know that is something that the internet, the world, flyers are very divided on. So, listeners and viewers, do you recline your seat or do you not recline? And what do you think about it? Comment below.
To recline or not to recline?
To recline or not to recline?
That is
No.
question.
Tú estás volando y la persona, they recline their seat all the way back. And then when they bring me my beverage and snack option, I'm there like, hi, I'm enjoying my blue chips.
Well, why
and then
I
the
recline.
little TV, I can't. You're a recliner?
This is why I recline.
You son of a bleep that out.
Calling me a recliner just sounds like I'm a lazy boy.
You're a recliner?
Here's why I'm a recliner. It is a chain reaction of reclination. Because if the person in front of me has reclined, now I have to be all uncomfortable? No, I have to move back. Also, many times I'm traveling for work, so I'm working, so I've got my laptop going. So I have to like be able to situate myself a little bit more to be able to actually work and type. So by extension of that person reclining, I recline so that I have more space, and now I'm the recliner.
You're a horrible human being.
There are other reasons for me to be a horrible human being. That's not one of them.
You are awful. You are the person. You know what I do to people like you? I become super obnoxious. I'm like, you know what? I'm getting up to go to the bathroom, and I move your seat. And, you know, oh, I'm getting something from the pouch in front of me. That is what I do because
I'm not bothered by that at all because I can sleep through a nuclear bomb.
I have the courtesy of not reclining to give the person behind me the space that I wish the person in front of me would give.
And I'm sure one day you will get your Nobel Prize for courteousness.
No. Te traen un jugo, una Coca-Cola, and then your little thing, you can't eat it because the person behind you, you know, in front of you, wants to freaking lie on your lap.
How much space do you need for a Biscoff cookie?
In my end, it's like when these people recline, they're practically their head is on my chest. You know, you only have like it's not
what
like,
rooms to go are you flying?
Okay, it's okay. No. Hold on. It's not like, well, you know, oh wow, it's so spacious in here. Like the person in front of me reclined. I now have 2.5 feet instead of 3 feet. We're talking about like, you know, 14 inches, right? You know that every inch counts, right? Esa persona se tira para atrás, and then especially if there's somebody bigger, you know, all their freaking junk is on me. And then, you know, I can't get a magazine. I can't pull down the table. I can't freaking move. Oh, because you must recline. You can't be vertical. Like, you must recline. It's like, you know what? The hell with you. I'm sorry. I'm telling you that when I'm very restrained. When I fly and the moment the plane is airborne, okay, the person in front of me, without thinking twice, reclines all the way back. I'm like, que te dé diarrea on the flight. Because it's like, come on, bro. Like, come on. You mean to tell me that you can't be like sitting in your seat upright, like, be courteous to the person behind you? Like, no. Go freaking get diarrhea in the bathroom. No.
I fall asleep. Again, like I said, you can get up 1,000 times. I will never notice. I'll never forget there was one flight. I literally, I fell asleep before we took off, and I did not wake up until we were landing. So for me...
Junior, don't let me down. You're somebody with a soul.
Oh, I'm soulless now because I recline?
Shut up.
I am Team DJ.
Yes.
100% on this. And I'm also the guy with cagalera because I don't like flying. So that's another thing.
Well, I don't wish that on you. See, that's why I tell you, Junior's my boy.
I'm too regular to get cagalera.
Ish, you need to pull the seat up.
No.
You need to be the change you want to see in the world.
But it doesn't but it doesn't bother me that much. This is not something I lie awake at night thinking about. Like, I don't care one way or the other.
What?
Like,
I've known you for 35 years, and this goes to show you never quite know a person. I've known you all this time, and I did not know you are a freaking recliner on an airplane.
Recliner.
I'm gonna reconsider this co-host thing because, you know, somebody with no freaking consideration reclining on airplane seats.
Call me city furniture because I'm a recliner.
Get recliner, get city furniture. You're a freaking lazy boy. You know, you can't be bothered.
I know, but I said lazy boy earlier. I was trying to mix it up.
Have you seen some of these lazy boy furniture things that they have like USB ports and shit?
Oh, you never have to get up.
Like, they have wireless chargers.
Like if they turn it into a toilet, you don't need to go anywhere.
Lo único que falta que el lazy boy tenga un refrigerador. Like a little.
No, some of them I'm sure have it.
Like a little storage compartment.
I'm sure some of them do. Especially the ones that it's like the two lazy boys together with the little thing in the middle. Yes, I'm sure.
A few months ago, when I was looking for furniture, I was like, I think at Macy's or something. I'm like, first, I would never get it, but I'm like, look at this. They had like USB-C, USB. They had like lights. They had like where you could put your drink and
the cup holder.
Yeah, and I'm like, look at this convenience. I mean, it's ugly as fuck, but look at this convenience.
Convenience can't always be beautiful. As a rule.
And then I know, remember that song? I know that what he's after, but he's a beautiful
disaster.
A beautiful disaster. I don't know why I just thought about that.
Because I feel like that's how you feel about that particular lazy boy.
You know what? The other day I was thinking about you because you know how it's in the Jennifer Hudson show They have that thing where you walk down the hall and people are dancing. Like I thought about you and I in that situation.
So different.
I would be probably doing a little, like two-step, a little two-step. And you'd probably be like, it's my moment to shine.
Absolutely.
Like, it's my moment to shine.
Absolutely.
This is it.
Every moment that is on me is a moment to shine. Fuck it. If you don't want me to shine, don't give me a moment.
You'll probably like bust down doing the choreography to like Toxic. You know?
See, I was gonna do If, but now that makes more sense because it has a whole line moment, right? So it could be. Like,
I mean, that kind of would be badass, though,
right? I know you said it jokingly, but think about it.
I'd probably do some shit like the conga. Like, why not? I think a Janet Jackson moment would be good.
That would be good. Or like you could just show up and like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You bust into the Rhythm Nation choreography. That'd be but that would require choreography.
I mean, we've seen these videos enough. I think we could do it.
What celebrity would go on the Jennifer Hudson show and be like, no, I'm not doing this?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
You didn't even think about it.
No.
For those listeners who don't know what we're talking about, so Jennifer Hudson has a talk show, and it's sort of become a viral moment that her guests, they'll be in a hallway with like a lot of the crew and staff of the show, and they'll be doing like a little dance and like clapping a little song, and then generally the guest comes down and they get into the song like a Soul Train line. So obviously some people get into it more than others, but everybody's a pretty good sport about it, right? But then I'm sure there's people that are like, no,
right,
I'm not doing that.
Right, Gwyneth Paltrow.
Pierce Morgan probably wouldn't do it either.
That's true. No, Pierce Morgan would do it in like a really awkwardly British way.
Yeah. Gwyneth Paltrow, that one is great.
Yeah, because she'd just be like,
"Yeah, this is wonderful." Like, where is this at?
She'd be like that goop smile and just keep going.
Who else? This is fun. Who else?
Well, I mean, Madonna wouldn't.
Madonna be like, "No."
Be like, "No."
If you want to see choreography, you got to pay for it in one of my shows.
I only dance when I'm feeling the artistic moment,
and this is not an artistic.
And promotion is not art. Yeah.
Who else?
Who else?
Gwyneth Paltrow. I don't think you can top Gwyneth Paltrow.
No, you can't. You can't top Gwyneth.
Would it be funny if in real life Gwyneth Paltrow's a hoot? Like,
just a hoot and a
like,
half.
Oh, you know Gwyneth. And, it's like joke.
Just always with the jokes, that Gwyneth.
Can you imagine if Gwyneth Paltrow, because of the way she eats, like her guilty pleasure is like masita frita?
She would have perpetual diarrhea if she ate one. If she ate one once.
Oh my God. This reminds me of those videos I would send you, speaking of Gwyneth Paltrow, of that comedian.
Rob Anderson?
That he would be like, things that would kill Gwyneth Paltrow. And he'd be like, hot Cheetos would kill Gwyneth Paltrow.
Instantly.
Like, instantly.
Lucky Charms would put her in a coma.
Like Frosted Flakes, she could survive. But it's so true. Like, it's so true. You know what Gwyneth Paltrow is not surviving? Like hot, like grocery store bought ramen.
The ones that's for like $1?
Yeah. I think her touching the thing
she'll get a rash. Like, she'll just get a rash from no. That cardboard? No.
I like Gwyneth Paltrow. I'm not in the Gwyneth Paltrow shame or hate bandwagon, but I do think that a lot of the stuff they say about her is hilarious.
Like maybe she's a hoot and like maybe Whoopi Goldberg's not. Like you never know.
Maybe she loves saturated fats.
Yeah, it's the great con.
Can you imagine?
Most women get Botox. She just has saturated fat put into her.
She loves a good, fish fry. She loves a good clam bake.
Hydrogenated oils.
Yeah. Give them all to me. Seed oils. Yeah, I love them all.
Keep
butter. Give me butter.
Clarified. All of it.
Okay, let's move on from Gwyneth Paltrow.
Gwyneth Paltrow and her love of fats.
Her goop.
Her goop.
Why did she name it Goop?
I don't know. Ask her. You know what? I would say ask her, but if you ask her, she's going to give you the answer.
You don't want the
And I don't think you care. I just don't think anybody cares. Okay, so I did think. I saw something on Instagram that I wanted to bring up just because I thought it was something inappropriate but funny. Well, not inappropriate, but just something like I can already tell. Like you're probably going to be like, "What?" All right. So it's actually happened a couple of years ago in 2021. Some friends hired their friend to be the photographer at their wedding. He's actually a dog groomer turned wedding photographer, which I love to see, a Renaissance man. And
Wait. What? Wait. Did you say he's a dog groomer?
that's what it says here on the post. Are you just picturing him only taking pictures of like dog weddings? Hey, listen, people can say multitudes, all right?
Oh my god.
People can say multitudes.
Whoa, focus.
All right.
Focus.
All right.
Focus.
So,
Whoa. Okay.
all right. So this dog
My
groomer,
composure is back.
this dog groomer turned wedding photographer.
Why did you repeat it?
Because I can. So he agreed to
Think about
shoot.
something else.
He agreed to shoot his friend's wedding
Okay.
for just $250.
Okay.
Okay, it's a bargain. It's a
bargain.
He can probably charge more for dog grooming. Now,
Okay.
he worked from 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Okay.
It was a hot
I'm gonna
venue.
drink some water.
It was a hot venue that had no AC.
Okay,
He was
well.
given no food or water. All right. So like at 5 p.m., he asked for a 20-minute break to eat, but the groom, who I'm assuming, they don't say which one, if his friend was the bride or the groom, but let's say the groom was his friend. The groom refused, saying, quote, either you're the photographer or you leave without pay. So the
And
friend...
you're asking me what I think about this?
No. Oh, no. This isn't. This is. Here we go. Now, frustrated and dehydrated,
Those are two very bad things to be at the same time.
especially if you're a dog groomer turned wedding
I
photographer.
mean, the only worst thing is to be frustrated, dehydrated, and constipated. Okay, go ahead.
Now, he then turned around and he deleted all the wedding photos in front of the groom, and he walked out
Oh,
saying,
that bitch wasn't playing
"I'm not
around.
your photographer anymore."
Oh.
Thoughts?
Wow.
Because it's one of those things where it's like, I'm on his side. Like, I'm on his side because, like, you know what, they were being assholes to him. But then it's like, I don't know if I would have gone that far. Maybe I would have deleted like half of them. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I don't know which way to go.
I want to hate the groom. I really want to hate
the groom.
him.
Right. No, I hate the groom. I hate the groom. Like,
I mean,
the groom was being a bridezilla, basically.
Yeah. Oh man. I as much as I want to be team groomer photographer, I can't be, because like that. I mean, he was a photographer.
He was the only one there. Yeah.
He was the only one. I mean, he was the one taking the official pictures. And I mean, you can't get that back.
Right.
Yeah, those people are not friends after.
No, they don't even go to him for dog grooming.
No.
No.
Stop.
No.
It's not gonna end well. Yeah, that's bad.
Right. Like, again, I want to be on his side.
That's bad.
Like, I want to be on his side. I just feel like all the photos, like if he had done some of the photos, right? Like,
yeah.
but he loses me at all.
I love to listen to, we have a very good friend who's
Yes.
a wedding planner and an event planner. And I sort
Shameless
of love
plug, Events by You.
Events by You, by our friend Stephanie
Stephanie
Ulloa. If you need an event, If you need anything planned, she's the best of the best.
She's your gal.
Find her at Events by You at Instagram.
Yep, she's on Instagram.
I want to always say at Instagram.
Yeah, why do you always want to send an email address? Like,
and this, yeah, you're right. This is a shameless plug. She is our friend. It is our show, so we're plugging her business.
Done.
Events by You. Remember, Stephanie, the best wedding you could get. But I love to hear her stories of like not only her, but like other colleagues of her and other wedding planners that she talks to. Of like just. Sometimes people can be very difficult. And look, I understand that it's your wedding day and understand you want everything to be perfect and, you know, you have high standards, especially if you're paying a lot of money for it, you know, but I mean, come on, like there's some things that are just like,
let that guy go have a drink.
Yeah. And I think people lose their minds a little bit. So I love hearing like her stories. And a lot of times her stories aren't even her stories. They're like other things she's heard from other colleagues. But I love to hear like wedding and event planners stories because it's like stuff like this. You think, oh, maybe I had a difficult bride or whatever. But like, it's like really serious shit that then you're like, whoa.
And listen, that's one of those things where like, number one, he was doing it for very cheap to begin with. Because $250 for a wedding photographer, good luck finding anybody to do it for that little. And if you have people coming in to do these services, you know, whether it's a DJ or a photographer or whatever, you have to feed them at your event.
So it's in many of your in your contractual clauses that
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about like
a lot of
be
vendors,
a human being.
A lot of vendors, it's part of their contract
that they get fed.
Like photographers, videographers, you know, the people providing a service at the wedding. Right. A lot of them, it's in their contract that it includes the food. What I think is incredible is clearly these vendors, third-party vendors, put that in the contract because it hasn't happened.
Right.
And I'm here thinking like, it's not like it's an army of people, right? It's usually a handful of people.
At most, it's a photographer and his assistant.
And the wedding planner
the DJ,
and all that.
The wedding, 5 people.
And you tell me that tú no puedes dar un plato de comida. I mean, come on.
I'm a forward.
Like, the fact that is even a thing. But,
especially when you know people don't show up.
Yeah.
So you've already paid for the plate.
Wow. The only thing better would have been instead of a wedding, it was a gender reveal party.
For dogs.
Don't even start me.
What are we? Are we doing canine gender reveals now?
They probably are. You know.
Can you even tell that?
I mean, I imagine if you do an ultrasound of the dog, you can. But who does an ultrasound of their dog when they're pregnant? That's probably the people that went up in space.
Right.
I mean, I'm going to sleep so much better tonight now that I know Katy Perry's set list.
Yes.
For her tour.
And that she revealed it in space.
Right.
I'm telling you, Taylor Swift has to announce her next tour from a black hole.
Is she singing Roar? Or is she just singing the new album?
Wait, is that the one with the clown? Or did she have one
Katy
after that?
Perry had an album this year.
Oh, she did? Oh, that's right. That woman song.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. It's a woman's world.
Oh, okay. Really?
Didn't do very well.
That's what she called it?
Woman's World, yeah.
Oh.
And she got really dragged because she worked the song is about women empowerment and she worked with Dr. Luke.
That's right. And that's why Kesha posed with a Wendy's cup earlier today. Because Wendy's dragged Katy Perry and said something like, you know, said something about her on Twitter.
Wendy's, the hamburger chain?
Yeah. Said something about her, like, yeah, but did she, blah, blah, blah. And then Kesha took a picture of her holding a Wendy's cup.
Wendy's hamburger chain dragged Katy Perry?
Hold on. Now you're going to make me look this up.
I mean, good for Wendy.
Katy Perry.
What's your favorite thing to eat at Wendy's?
I just keep it simple at Wendy's. Like just like a burger, but with like a baked potato. I love a baked potato.
Junior, what's your favorite thing to eat at Wendy's?
Fries in the Frosty.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So the
spicy chicken sandwich, by the way.
So in a response to a post that read Katy Perry has returned from space, Wendy's said, "Can we send her back?"
What?
And I don't know what she did to piss off Wendy.
Wait, what? The Wendy's Hamburger
and
Corporation.
This is on people.com, so that's why I'm
Wendy's,
like...
You know, we're talking about Dave Thomas here.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
They want to send Katy Perry back to space? I think that's savage and like
Unexpected.
amazing at the same time.
Yeah.
Man, whoever's handling that account is a special person.
Yeah.
That is not a woman named Karen.
And then
who's
actually,
55.
hold on. In another thread, a poster noted that all these women were in space for 10 minutes. And in response, the Wendy's account corrected, don't shortchange her. It was 11 minutes.
Okay, who's handling that account?
Somebody who's not getting paid anywhere near enough.
That is savage.
And then she continued, because Wendy's, I'm a woman, send me to space.
Bravo. Give that person a raise.
Yeah. Sometimes the internet's fun.
I mean, can you imagine? You know what would have made it better? That instead of Wendy saying that, it was Ronald McDonald. There's a little bit more when it's Ronald McDonald.
Because it's not the arch, it's the clown.
Tell you, send Katy Perry
Send her back.
to space, bro. Que se vaya.
Oh.
Vete pa'l carajo. Do you know what is great? Do you know what a carajo is?
It's the crow's nest.
Who knew that?
I did not know that until maybe like 10 years ago.
So when people would say "vete pa'l carajo," it meant that in a boat you would tell people to go to the crow's nest.
Yeah.
But it sounds again so much better in Spanish.
So much better in Spanish. I'm not going to tell you to go to the crow's nest.
I don't know why I thought carajo was like a city in Spain.
Oh, I just thought it was something like, like La Quimbamba, like, just out there somewhere.
Where is La Quimbamba?
Next to El Carajo.
Is that by what is it? But
BFE, yeah.
BFE. What's so violent? Like,
people don't tell you to go to BFE anymore.
No.
Right? Like, you don't hear that as often.
No. They don't go there anymore. It's not cool.
No, it's not cool. Where do the kids go now?
Remember when kids would say, "Where is it?" Up your ass and around the corner. Do you remember that one? And what's a totally early 90s thing? You had to have been a little kid, right? When you would be like, "Oh, it's not on your shirt." Psych.
Hey, bro. Psych. Bring back the psych. Bring back psych. Okay, how do you spell psych?
I don't know. SIKE.
Okay, that's how I always, like, in my mind, it was psych. But it's actually PSYCH because it's like you're psyching someone out. No, it's like you're psyching someone out. So, like, it's psych.
What?
Yes.
What? Where the hell did you read that in?
I read it online from Wendy's Twitter account.
Are you serious? No. I mean, Wendy giving all the hot takes today.
Psych. Gotcha. Psych.
Damn. Wendy. That's not the way you spell psych.
Well, there's two psychs. So the other one isn't a real word.
Well, what's SIKE then?
I don't think it's anything. But
not anything?
I don't think it's anything, but I think it's just how we like spelled it out. Because for forever, like psych, SIKE.
Nobody knows that you're psyching somebody out when you say that.
Right. But that's what it is.
Oh, whatever. Let's just go to our final soda.
Our last soda.
You go first.
All right. So I'm going to give my last soda to, it's just kind of a random last soda, but I'm going to go ahead and give it to Geri Halliwell, who I actually had the opportunity to meet last week. I'm going to give it to her, number one, because for those of you who don't know, she is half Spanish. So technically she does fall under the rubric of of our show here. But also after sitting there and listening to her speak and all this, and she wrote she has a series of books. And I was just amazed how, like, and this is going to sound like a backhanded compliment, but I was amazed how someone, it's not like she's a great singer. It's not like she's a great dancer, and yet she, through just sheer force of will of like, I'm going to achieve my dreams, became part of the biggest girl group in all of history and has consistently just found other ways to reinvent herself and allow her creativity to come out. And I think, you know what? I respect that. Like, a lot of times you have these people who, especially at that level, I mean, if you think about those 5 women, they don't have to do anything ever again for the rest of their lives.
No.
Like, they could literally just, lie on a chaise somewhere and not ever lift a finger.
He's talking about the Spice Girls people.
Yes, those 5. Well,
I don't know.
those other women, they never have to do anything. But yet, and they all do, but she has consistently just like, okay, well, no, I'm gonna write, I'm gonna bake, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna, I'm an ambassador. She's actually an ambassador for the London Zoo. So she just consistently goes out and keeps doing things. And again, I got to meet her. It was a great moment. I was very nicely told by the people that were the handlers there to like shut up and leave. But that's again, don't give me a moment if you don't expect me to take it. So Geri Halliwell-Horner
is our last soda.
Is my last soda.
No, do they call it in England? They call it bubbly, right? No, bubbly's champagne. No, do they call it pop? No. I think pop is in the Midwest, but I think they call it pop there too.
I don't know. That's a good question.
They don't call it soda.
Is it like maybe?
Well, I mean, listen, they did do a Pepsi.
They were Pepsi ambassadors, yeah.
So I mean, there we go. She does drink Last Sodas.
She does drink soda, at least at one point in her life.
Yeah. So I think speaking of her.
Pop. It's called pop and fizzy drinks.
Fizzy. That's fizzy.
Pop and fizzy. And Psych is a small ditch in North Ireland.
No, we are bringing the
England.
ditches back.
Psych. SIKE in North England.
Where was that 3 weeks ago when we were talking about the ditches?
Right now saying Psych is perfect. Scotland and North England. It is a small ditch.
Okay,
Psych.
So then clearly we're spelling something that is not what this is. Because I don't think when I look down and go up, I'm like, ditch.
But it is slang written in that way. When you're talking about psyching someone out,
so it is written that way?
SIKE in slang terms. But
okay.
Officially, it's Northern England.
A ditch in Northern England. Which brings us back to the Spice Girls.
Which brings us back to what was the name? Zaragoza. What was the name of the ditch in Spanish?
He said the ditch. The ditch. The one.
Wait. Zaragoza, Zaragoza. Sangha. It was Sangha. Yes. Oh, that Sangha. That, Geri Halliwell being a Spice Girl goes back to social media that KFC follows all the Spice Girls, and then so there's 5 Spice Girls, so they follow 5 Spice Girls on Instagram, and then 6 guys named Herb. that is the greatest thing ever. There's nothing greater than that.
No,
whoever came up with that se la comió. Like, se la comió.
Those are the moments when marketing is fun.
11 herbs and spices that they follow the 5 Spice Girls individually, and they follow 6 guys named Herb. That is amazing. Amazing. Like, that is the same energy as Wendy's.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Wendy's and KFC should just, get together.
So I'm giving my last soda to It's My Show, so it's whatever. I'm giving it to this week, April, what week are we in? April 17th, April 12th?
18th is Friday.
Well, April 17th.
Yes.
2005, one of the greatest albums of all time in R&B music came out, and that is of my favorite singer of all time, The Emancipation of Mimi by Mariah Carey.
Oh, wow.
20 years old it turns this week.
That thing's already 20 years old?
It's 20 years old. It's 20 years old. And I think what we have to remember is that when that album came out, Mariah Carey's career was not doing very well. She had a great run in the 90s from literally 1990 to 1999, I mean. And then in 2001 with Glitter, everything fell badly. She had in 2002, she had an album called Charm Bracelet, which
love that album.
Didn't really, it's a fan favorite, but it didn't do what it was supposed to do. And then she was written off by this point. Yeah. Completely written off like somebody. Okay, she had a long string of hits, but that's
she had her moment.
Her moment is behind her, and then she came out with this incredible album, and The Emancipation of Mimi really is a full legit R&B album. It's not a pop album. It's not a dance album. Mm-hmm. It's an R&B album, and I remember listening to It's Like That and We Belong Together. Those were the first 2 singles before the album came out, and saying like, this is going to be her comeback. Like, I knew it because it was just, her sound was amazing. The songs were great. They were really contemporary and current for that time. And it turned out to be, it's considered one of the greatest musical comebacks of all time, because she went from having like 2-3 years that she was written off to now, well, actually, no, like 4 or 5 years that she was completely written off. And at that time, All I Want for Christmas Is You did not do what it eventually did. And then she had like the biggest album of the year. And We Belong Together was considered the song of the decade by Billboard.
Really?
Yeah. We Belong Together was number 1 for 14 weeks. And I think that song, I love that song.
That song in that video is great.
That's a song that is played out, but I still, one of the few songs that's played out and I like it. But that album is filled with like really, really good, like, again, you have to like R&B to really like that album, but it's filled with like just the best. It really is some of the best songs of her career, and it's 20 years old.
I can't believe it's 20 years old.
Yeah, it's 20 years old.
Como pasa el tiempo, caballero.
It's 20 years old, and it still sounds like really fresh and really current. That's one of those albums that has very little to no skips.
Yeah.
Do you know most of the songs on that album?
Right now, don't quiz me on it because
Circles?
I'm not you. Oh, yeah.
I'm running around in circles over you.
Yeah.
My favorite song on that album is actually, it's not a single, it's Fly Like a Bird, which is a total gospel song. It's what she closes the album with.
Well, I mean,
it's like
gospel.
She's taking you to church in that song.
Yes.
That song is like one of her best songs. It's like she does it with a full choir, and I love it. I've said it for years. I would love for her to do a gospel album.
I think she will.
I've said it for years. There's 2 genres of music I would love for her to do: gospel and jazz, and I think that she could do both. So
Yeah, 100%.
you heard it here first.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, well, that was.
Wait, so before we go, I just want to say really quick though, because we do some stuff with the Arsht Center.
Oh, yes.
And so Beetlejuice the Musical is coming, and I am actually going to be hosting on April 29th. It's going to be running from April 29th to May 4th at the Arsht Center. April 29th is opening night. I'm actually going to be hosting like the pre-show with Beetlejuice, and they're going to have like a bingo, a cosplay. So it's going to be like, just a lot of fun. So come out if you can get tickets for opening night, and just come out. It starts at like 6:30, and just join me and have a good old time. And you don't even have to say my name 3 times.
Say my name, say my name. If no one is around,
Wouldn't it be great if they were inspired by Beetlejuice?
You and running games. It's a great song. Say my name, say my name.
So yes,
you acting kind of shady.
Beetlejuice the Musical, April 29th.
Calling me baby. Better say my name. Do you know that song?
I'm sorry. What do you think I was asleep?
Do you know that song?
Like,
We'll call. You would say, baby, how's your day?
But today
it is the same. Every other word is a yeah, okay. Could it be that you are in the crib with another lady?
Yeah. Okay. Come on.
Well, everybody, have a great weekend.
Peak TRL. Come on.
Peak TRL. Again, to quote me last week, what a time to be alive.
Used to be a proper culture.
TRL. Everybody, have a great weekend. We hope you listen, laughed, and learned. And as always, remember to grab your pastelito, your croqueta, and your cafecito. See you next week, everybody. Have a good one.
Bye.